Let me tell you something. Your tribe will have your name in doors you don't even have to be in yet. People think when you say you eat plant food that we just eat salads and celery and cucumbers and carrots all day. That's not what we eat. No, we eat good around here. So I got put on ADHD medicine. And as I got older, I realized how much that medication was affecting me, my mental anxiety, everything around. And so by the time I got to college, I just started going down a rabbit hole, researching ways that I can help myself feel better and be able to focus better naturally. So I started weaning out different foods. I started getting into herbs, just started getting into more natural remedies. And that's really how it stemmed. And people started being interested. And I started making stuff for everybody. It's just what I love to do, and it turned into a business.
Before we get into this episode, we gotta shout out our sponsor, Pose for Lola. This episode is sponsored by the luxurious photo booth that brings people together. I've personally used the Lola booth 2 times for 2 separate events, and let me tell you, it definitely was the life of the party. Visit poseforlola.com or follow at poseforlola on Instagram to book your experience, and let them know Conversations Unearthed sent you. Now, let's get back into the episode. What's up, guys? This is Brianna Moore, your host of the Conversations Unearthed podcast, where y'all come for me, but you stay for the guests. Today, oh my gosh, I have a treat for y'all. Intro. Let me do a quick, I said I won't go do an introduction, but I have to do it now because your presence is amazing. Today's guest is somebody who is rooted in sunlight and whose mission is love, healing, and harmony. Natalie Elise, or as many know her, Nat, is the founder of Natroganix, a wellness brand born from her deep love for nature and her personal journey towards holistic living. A devoted plant foodist of over 7 years, Nat's transformation began in her own body and spirit and quickly expanded into a movement. And, well, shoot, we got to say this too. You studied at North Carolina A&T, shout out HBCU.
Aggie Pride.
Okay, Aggie Pride, shout out. And used your voice to advocate for healthier food options on campus, sparking a fire within her to serve and empower her community. And we got to give a testament to you and your energy and your friends, because we got to shout out Miss Lauren.
Shout out to Lauren. Shout out to Lauren.
So I got a DM, right? And it was from like an unknown sender, so I had to go to my request box to see it. And I never go to my request box, so that was crazy. And I went and I put the message into my primary, and Lauren was like, yo, I love your podcast, but look, it's somebody you need on that joint. Like, it's like, I love it, but you missing something. And I got the perfect ingredient for you.
Okay.
She's like, you got to meet my girl, Nat.
Yeah.
We at Natroganix on Monday.
I love Lauren. I mean,
come through.
Let me tell you something. Your tribe will have your name in doors you don't even have to be in yet. And it's beautiful. She hit me. She was like, yeah, it's this podcast. It's fire. You got to connect with her. I'm telling her that you need to be on the podcast. Yeah. I'm like, all right, Laura. And she really one of those people. If she says she's going to do, I mean, she does it. She on it. She was like, oh, she said she's coming this week. Yeah, I was supposed to come on Monday, but I was in Charleston for a bachelorette party. Ooh, okay. So I was like, I felt bad because I was like, I told her I was gonna come, and I'm a person of my word. Like, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it, and I didn't. So I felt bad, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna come the next day, and I did, and I pulled up on you. And the thing is, I'm trying to like see my people who come up here before they come up here, because I've been doing a lot of interviews, and you know, I know who people are from what they say, you know, their social media, what they've been doing in the media and things like that. Right. But it's something about having a personal connection with somebody before they come up here. I feel like it strengthens the relationship, but also the interview. Because at the end of the day, like, y'all are so dope. And I want to make sure we pull out. I want to make sure that people see what you have, and the things that I see in y'all that I want amplified. So anyways, welcome, Miss Natalie Elise. Gratitude. Thank you for having me, Bree.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Needed. It's much needed.
And you know what? You say you have a space in your restaurant that could potentially be for maybe.
Oh yeah,
maybe no. And I'm just saying this because
you gotta hold me accountable, so it's meant for you to say it.
Yes, I mean, look, I'm just saying it. You got a space in there that looks very, very good to do a podcast in. And I think that may have been intentional. I don't know. But the crazy thing is, when I walked into your shop, the place is, I don't know who designed it, but it's beautiful. I mean,
thank you.
It is good. The colors, vibrant. I was like, bro, we should do the podcast here. Like, I literally
thought you were going to say that too in that spot. That's so funny.
I wanted to, yeah. But I was like, dang, I'm gonna have to bring this here in the camera.
It's a lot.
I should have, but next time we do it, I'm good. We doing it at the shop.
Nah, this space is dope.
I love it.
This space is dope. Very welcoming energy in here. Like, you're a great host.
And I told you matched the whole. Or look at the couch and you, bro. Let me tell you something. This is great. This is beautiful. All right, I just want to ask before we get started, how you doing? How's your heart?
My heart is love. My heart is in well spirits today. I was telling you I had a bit of a crazy start to my day today, but still in high spirits. Very happy to be here. Feeling amazing and grateful. But yeah, I was telling her that today officially was our 6-month anniversary since opening Natroganix TT, and I came into the shop and the fridge was broken this AM, so I had to throw everything out. I had to pivot. Pivot has been a really big word for me in this season. Just pivoting. You know, you always got to be ready to pivot. But yeah, I'm in high spirits and feeling good, and things happen. So we pushing.
I mean, the fact that it's your 6-month anniversary, and you walk in, and a bulk of your inventory is gone. You have to throw it away. What I mean,
was DoorDashing, hurry up, having a DoorDash and Instacart
ingredients.
Yeah. It was crazy, but I take it as, you know, everything has been a test, especially through this journey for me. It's been a very big journey for me, and really testing my patience, really testing me elevating into this level that I'm in with having to step into a new responsibility. And part of that responsibility is not cracking under pressure. You know, like I have other people that also, you know, rely on the energy being right in the space. So if I crack, everybody else gonna come in and kind of be off. So I just, gotta hold it together.
I mean, yeah, and you're not the first business owner that has told me about a situation like that. Well, let me just ask too, what inspired you to create Natroganix? And what does, in the name Natroganix, is it because your name is Nat?
Not at all.
Okay.
And it's so funny. That's how I know it was so aligned, because it literally just came from natural and organic. And when I say natural and organic, I don't literally mean just the ingredients being natural and organic. I mean the energy, the vibe, the just everything aligning organically within that space. The people who are coming in, the love is organic. Like that's really what that means to me. And it's so funny because a lot of people say Nats Organics because they assume it's Nats Organic. Yeah. But once people started calling it that, I'm like, oh, it clicks. Like it was really meant for me to create that name because it still ties directly with my journey. And I think that's very beautiful because it is Nats Organics in a sense too. So it's like kind of got to tie off of one another. But yeah. Yeah, because I didn't know how to say it. And I was like, is it Natroganix? Like, is it? Because it's such an interesting name. It's a beautiful name. Thank you.
But I'm like, oh, it's because her name Nat. Like that's exactly
everybody. When people come in and I'm like, hey, I'm Nat, they're like, oh, that makes sense now. That makes sense. Yeah. I'm like, I got it. I guess it does. You got it. Yeah. But the journey really stemmed from it. Natroganix is my journey. It really started from me just truly being in a desperate need to find a better version of myself, how I was feeling mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I grew up with, I would say, one of those children that was a little bit more hyperactive. Okay. But I feel like that was a superpower. That's how we connect now. We network, but at the same time, I'm low-key like introverted but extroverted because I love being in my space too. But I was always one of those kids that got put out and called out for being too loud, the report cards, talking too much. So I got put on ADHD medicine. And as I got older, I realized how much that medication was affecting me, my mental anxiety, everything around. And so by the time I got to college, I just started like going down a rabbit hole, researching ways that I can help myself feel better and be able to focus better naturally. And so I started weaning out different foods. I started getting into herbs, just started getting into more natural remedies. And that's really how it stemmed. And people started being interested. And I started making stuff for everybody. It's just what I love to do. And it turned into a business. And really, I truly still don't. I have to find that balance in the line with it being a business, because sometimes I get a little caught up with the fact of it truly is just my journey, but still there's some business foundations. And I know we're going to get more into a little bit of that, but yeah, I'm really learning the ties between it, but it's just my journey. And over time, people started making me take the money because I didn't want it. Wow. And it just turned into a business. And now that's what it is. It's just a testimony of my healing journey. I'm still healing, and I'm just on the walk with other people where we're learning and healing together. And that's what it's about. It's just about love and community.
Making me take the money because I didn't want it. What were you making things for people?
Yeah, I was making everything. I mean,
and they wanted to pay you.
They wanted to pay me, and I didn't care for it.
You just was doing it just. So let's go back. Lil Nat, where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Richmond, really Henrico. So right out, 10 minutes from downtown, Chamberlain area. Okay. And so I was born in New Jersey. Didn't really grow up there. We moved with my grandma in Portsmouth area, more so 7-5. And then I was in Richmond probably from the age of 7-ish. Okay. To college. Then I went to A&T. And now I'm back.
Two-parent household?
Two-parent household.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. What did mom and dad do for work?
So my mom's an accountant and my dad's a lawyer.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay.
It's so funny though, because we're gonna get into
talking about the Huxtables right now, because you have okay. All right. Mom's an accountant, dad's a lawyer, and you have brothers, right?
So I said brothers, but really I have a brother, but I have brothers in alignment kind of with my brother, and then just homeboys too growing up. But I have one older brother, 2 years older than me, and then I have an older sister that's 11 years older than me, and a younger sister that's 5 years younger than me. So I'm growing up, I really was the middle child because my older sister was out of the house. And so it was just me, my brother, and my little sister. So I was like that middle child, loud child, kind of, did my own thing. Always kind of went down my own path. But yeah, grew up with both parents. They've been married for over 20 years, going on 30 years now. Wow. Yeah.
What a foundation. Yeah. And I'm going to ask you to just scoot up a little bit so you can, just talking about, perfect.
I hope y'all can hear me.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to be crisp. Because I think people need to hear this.
They gotta hear it.
They gotta hear it. And you go and you middle child, and then you go to school at A&T.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What was the relationship with money growing up?
So, in all honesty, when I think about my first kind of encounter with building my relationship with money, now realizing the first thought is getting holiday cards and having the money in your holiday cards. That's kind of my first
realization.
Yeah, realization of I had money, and you feel so free then, I can do anything with this money. It may be $20, but as a child it's
that's a lot of money.
I can get whatever I want. You feel what I'm saying? And so that really started, I guess that triggered me to feel money already allowed me to do what I wanted kind of freely. But money was never, finances was never really a big conversation with my family. Yeah. It felt like an uncomfortable topic. It just wasn't talked about more per se. I grew up in a 2-parent household, very much so middle class, not even necessarily high middle class, but very much so middle class. And they just never talked about finances. I never really learned how to spend money, how to save money, the true, meaning behind money, and kind of how to use money as a tool. I grew up really eventually seeing it as survival and not as a tool. So as I grew and really, got into business and things like that, I've had to really go through the phases of unlearning a lot of my habits with money. I used to just spend money on anything. Yeah. And, now then I went through, having certain lack mentality when it came to money. And so I'm really unlearning that, especially with business. You got to spend money to make money.
Yeah. So would you say the relationship was negative or positive? Because it seemed like if you got a mama and daddy that's both getting to the bag, it seems like you would grow up and not really, and correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like you would grow up and not really need it because it was there. So
it's so funny because people would come over and they would like see my house. Yeah. And I always grew up in nice houses.
Yeah. I know. I'm sure.
They would see, yeah. But here's the thing. My parents literally would still go paycheck to paycheck to pay for that house.
Oh, okay.
Like they put everything into a house. They never had super nice cars. My mom just like splurged last year, and I wouldn't even say splurged, but she just kind of upgraded to something, nicer that made her feel better, yeah. Car wise, and just her how she dresses and certain things like that. But they always made sure we had what we needed. But I will say I saw them still basically going paycheck to paycheck. And it wasn't something that was always directly talked about, but it would still be times where it's like, no, Natalie, like we can't do this. So I grew up, by the time I was 14, like I was doing my own thing. I was braiding hair. That was when I first really started handling my own money for real. Like in high school, I was braiding everybody and their mama hair. I wouldn't say I'm the best hairstylist, but I was back then, I was doing good.
Yeah.
And so I really like bought my own clothes. I like bought all of my own stuff, even by the time I was 14, 15 years old. Because I didn't really see, like my parents never really splurged on us like that. They made sure we had what we needed, but I also didn't ever feel like they had extra to splurge on us. So I kind of just did my own thing. So you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, I think people assume, you were probably spoiled, accountant, lawyer, but it's like, they still, they in so much
That's what
debt.
I assumed.
Yeah, but they're in a lot of debt with school and things like that, you can make a certain amount of money, but if you didn't have the correct habits, all of your money could be going back to decisions you made before.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I saw more so.
Okay. And I think too, like my main two things that I feel like anybody needs when they start a business that most people can't find is 1, a lawyer, and 2, an accountant. So just having that wealth of knowledge there, because I done paid a lot of money for accountants.
Yeah.
To not do a good job.
Do you want to know something though? It's like, it's amazing having them as that resource, but my parents are very tied in their corporate jobs to the point where you would think I would get so much from that. Yeah. It's like they're so burnt out by the time they're pouring so much into the system and corporate that they don't even have the space and capacity for my stuff. So while it sounds like, that's that resource, it's like, honestly, it's amazing. And it's also up to me to make sure I create that. You know what I'm saying? But I have. And don't get me wrong, they're there when I need it. But it's also us fitting time into each other can sometimes be challenging.
Gotcha.
Like my mom she does accounting work for like bigger corporations. So it's a little bit different when you get to smaller business, big business, smaller businesses. Yeah. But when you get to entrepreneurs that are starting out, it's very different. So she honestly doesn't even have all of the knowledge when it comes to that.
Different types.
So we've been learning together. Yeah. But as far as just numbers, and now I'm getting more comfortable asking those questions, and like, you know what I'm saying? She definitely has a wealth of knowledge. Yeah. And now she's starting to teach me some of it. So it's been dope.
Okay. Yeah. And then the lawyer part too, like, is that helping you with like contracts and agreements and leases?
Let me tell you something. Yeah, because it's so many things that I wouldn't have thought to do. Like even when hiring, like a non-disclosure and things like that is stuff that, you wouldn't really, but it's so many things and steps you have to take to protect your brand and your, what you're putting out. There's a lot that I don't think we think about. So
what are some of those things for the people that may not know?
I would definitely say making sure things are on paper. And even with having him, I still kind of jumped head first into this transition. And so there was some things that, I stepped into without going straight to him to kind of get certain advice on. And I learned things the hard way. Like, you want things in writing. You want everything in writing. When you're doing transactions with people, you want it in writing. Even down to getting, for example, even if you're getting, and this goes with accounting and with the lawyer aspect of stuff. But even down to certain things I may have got on Facebook Marketplace, writing out a bill of sale, like certain things like that, I don't think people think about. Like we just do so many transactions, but it's important to have things in writing. And I think that's one of the biggest ones for sure. And then non-disclosure, definitely. Gotta have protection.
What's the importance of having the things in writing, especially with like people from Facebook Marketplace? Because I didn't even think about that, so now I'm asking for myself.
Well, number one, if you're trying to write it off, you want to have a bill of sale. So from the accounting aspect, but also from the aspect of certain things down to like, God as is, or even if you're selling it, sold as is. So if somebody tries to come back to you, well, I sold it as is, and now they're complaining that is something isn't right with it, or it's not up to being brand new, but it's in writing that it was sold as is, and you signed it. So just things like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it kind of goes both ways from the accountant perspective to help you out long term with just writing things off and keeping up with your money correctly, and your records, and then also just for protection. Okay, and what's one of the biggest lessons that you've learned from both of them? Like one on the accounting side and one on the law side. Like from my parents, or just in general? In general. I would say on the accounting side, it's very important to, number one, do your research. Yeah. And of course, you're not gonna know everything. You're gonna learn. I'm learning so much, but building your foundation is so important. Keeping your records, so important. And I wasn't really taking it as serious before. That's why earlier I said, finding the line between this is my passion and something I enjoy doing, and this is legit still a business. Yeah. You have to keep up with your records. You have to keep up with your numbers. You have to keep up with your receipts. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wasn't keeping up with receipts correctly in the beginning, just things like that. My mom really had to get on me, and I learned quickly certain things bit me back, in the behind. Mm-hmm. So I would say that was a big one. Definitely building your foundation. What bit you back? What bit back? When it came down to when it's time for taxes and you don't have anything together, you don't have your numbers together, you don't have your books together. I can't tell you what I profited. Things like that. Yeah. And I mean, that was a big transition from where I was just selling things and doing it for fun, and now having a brick and mortar. Yeah. I had to learn and go back and rebuild that foundation. So there was a lot of knowledge that I just didn't have, but also I had the experience of knowing what I didn't want to deal with again. So now I'm kind of rebuilding that foundation, and my mom is helping me for sure with that. Okay. Like learning books, all of that. I'm still truly trying to learn, financial literacy and really tap more into that. But I would say, building the foundation with your finances and just keeping up with your books, your records. Are we using like a QuickBooks type of software? I use QuickBooks, okay. Yeah. I use QuickBooks, and I've just been kind of really getting the hang of the QuickBooks now. So I've been doing it, and then my mom kind of comes behind me and is helping me. And eventually I may end up just getting a bookkeeper. Yeah. Because like I said, my mom only has but so much, she could pour into me. Yeah. Like she'll do my taxes, but as far as constantly keeping up with my books and helping me, she doesn't really have, it's a lot when she's dealing with other people at her corporate, like she's on top of other people within her job. So I got a few different bookkeepers that I can refer you to. I would appreciate that. Yeah. I actually would, because I'm getting to that point where it's like, yeah. Yeah. And then, okay, so one thing that I've been learning is that it's a difference between working in your business and for your business. On your business. Your business. Because you can work and be a worker bee, and you could be mixing your juices. Oh, by the way, let me tell you something. This I am not being paid to say this right now. What they do on TikTok, they be like, This is good. Like, this is one of Nat's juices from Natroganix that she bought me. Thank you so much. Cold pressed juice. It tastes like I'm eating a mango. Like, this is so good. This is not an advertisement. Like, this is real life. I appreciate it. I would say, like, I'm gonna come and get some of these so I can just have some, because they're so good. What was my question? Okay, yeah. Y'all, hold on. Let me tell y'all something. Yes, go ahead. Bree said yesterday, she was like, "What do you like to drink?" She was like, "Do you drink wine? Like, do you drink alcohol?" I'm like, "No, not really." She's like, "What do you like?" I'm like, "I like coconut water and good juices." She's like, "Oh, I can find you something." I said, "No." I said, I'm gonna bring us something, coconut girl. Water. I ain't know where to find coconut water. I was gonna find some for you. I said, nope, I'm gonna bring something for us both. Okay. Yes, and you did not disappoint. And I told you, I said I'm excited because I already knew it was gonna be something. And this is the energized one, and I am energized. I am energized.
Pineapple.
Speak affirmations.
Yes, I love that. Pineapple, orange, apple, mango, key lime, turmeric. Ooh, that's good for
you
your
gotta
skin.
have a little black pepper to activate
Black
that
pepper.
turmeric. Skin and
turmeric,
gut digestion. Ooh, inflammation.
Ooh.
Very good for that.
Okay. Does it have caffeine in it or anything?
No, I don't do. We do nothing with caffeine and Natroganix. People ask all the time. We have a full herbal tea bar too, and people always ask, do we have caffeinated teas? No, we don't. No coffee. You know, just not something I put into my body. So it's not something I serve. And not that there's anything against caffeine to me. It's just not something that, you know, you can get caffeine anywhere. So
That's true. Oh yes. Okay. So working in your business versus on your business. I came to the studio the other day, Saturday and Sunday. I was here for like 8 hours each day because I'm trying to figure out how to monetize this podcast, and I finally cracked the code. But with figuring out how to monetize means that I can't do my passion as much. I can't edit as much. Like I can't interview people as much because
why do you say that?
Because I gotta worry about the books. Like I'm opening up the QuickBooks and I'm going back to all of like the thing that you said. I don't know what I'm profiting. I don't know what I'm selling. Like I don't know how much I've paid people.
Right.
So that's just taking a lot of my time away from being in the business. However, I mean, it's got to be done. Like who else gonna do it? Because when you doing this by yourself, entrepreneurship, you everything. Like I'm booking the guests, I'm interviewing the guests, I'm producing, I'm recording.
You're the face.
The brand, everything on top of that, the cleaning crew on top of trying to
Tell me about it.
Well, yeah, I know you know. I know you know. But like
you doing it,
and now on top of that, I gotta worry about the books and the finances.
Once you bring the books in, okay.
So I just want to know how has that transition been for you?
At first, honestly, I had sparked like moments where it wasn't as fun to me anymore because basically what you're saying when you're saying, you know, you feel like you're not able to do as much of your passion, but I don't think that's necessarily what it is. I'm not realizing it's not taken away from you doing your passion, but you have to find that balance. Not even balance. The word is harmony. You got to find that harmony within it. But also, you'll get to the point where you start learning delegation. And that'll help you out a lot. Because it won't just be you forever. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody delegate to.
For sure. But the correct people will come.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I never did either. And it's so funny because even while having people around me, it's taken a lot out of me to even get comfortable letting go of some of that control and delegating things because, you know, I'm so used to doing it on my own. But sometimes I have those sparks still. It really was a lot more intense in the beginning of me transitioning. Around this time last year is when I first got the building. I didn't open until December. That's a whole nother. Took me, let's just say Richmond City. Yeah. Okay. But so I had the space for 6 months before I opened. That was and I barely did any work in there. So you were paying for the lease. I was paying for the lease and contract work. I had to repay that's what I mean where make sure you have things in writing because I got bit in the butt by just not knowing certain things. Yeah. And but as I was saying, it came to I would have a lot of moments where it was like this isn't fun to me anymore. Like this, I just want to be interacting and feeling the impact in the community because it's not just about me impacting people. People are impacting me. It's a transaction of just love and energy and knowing that you're not on your journey alone. And that's what it is. And that's just what I want to feel. So then when I have to take care of these books, now tax season coming up and I'm trying to figure this out. It's like, it's a lot, but that's what you sign up for when you transition into a business. Yeah. And I know I was called to do this, but you know, once you put that hat on, you got to put them big girl panties on and get things done. So,
So how were you paying for the lease? If you, were you working a job while you were?
I was, I was working at the hospital. I was working at the hospital overnight. We briefly had spoke about that. So, I actually started in healthcare. Like that's what I went to college for. I wanted to be a doctor. I was planning to go to medical school. And so I was a nurse aide at the hospital. So IVs and stuff like that, and vitals. But honestly, I was just working night shift so that patients would be asleep and I would really just be.
What year did you work there? Because I feel like I might have seen you.
You look so familiar to me when I first saw you too. And I was supplemental, so I floated. So you probably saw me. Did you work day shift or night shift though?
Both.
Because let me tell you, I only work night shift because first of all, I'm not about to do all of that.
It's a lot of politics
during the day.
Yeah, and it's a lot
night
of
shift. Yeah. People don't mess with you. I really most of the time I ended up getting put on sit-in shifts because they never had enough sitters during the nighttime.
Oh, nice.
So I would just be sitting working on business, literally working on Natroganix. So I would be working from 7 to 7, and then 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. and then. MCV is right downtown, and the shop is like 3 minutes from MCV.
Yeah, but sometimes you be sitting and them people be in alcohol withdrawal or like hitting and punching.
I had times when they would be don't get me wrong. I definitely had. So it's funny because my homegirl still work for them. She texted me today. She said, my patient is wilding today. I'm like, I don't miss that.
Them sitters, I give, thank you. Thank you.
And you either get the nurses that really see that and appreciate you, or they just throw everything on you.
Yeah.
But so I was literally working 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. at MCV, a few minutes away from the shop. I had got this shop. Mind y'all, I didn't never plan to move back to Richmond. That wasn't even in the plan, but it was in God's plan. And I ended up back in Richmond working at MCV, got the shop because overall I knew I would have the support here. And it was the best place to rebuild my foundation. And I would get off at 7 a.m. and go straight to the shop after being up all night, and then be there meeting with contractors, trying to figure this whole plan out that wasn't going my way. And it was a lot. It took me a lot to get my permits done correctly. It took a lot to get all of the inspections done. Things kept on failing due to contractors that I was paying not doing things correctly. And I mean, I'm a young woman. At the time I was 23 years old, and I'm now 24. And I will say that I'm the type, like, I'll do anything on my own. Yeah. So I would just go do these things on my own. And I definitely feel like men will take advantage of that sometimes. Not to go deep into that, but it could get, especially
girl,
when it
we can get into it.
My
book is up there.
I'm not trying to get too into the politics.
A whole chapter, about that. Because
okay,
I had that exact same issue happen with the real estate deal.
Let me tell you,
wasn't. I mean, I won't pay attention. It was somebody I trusted. That was doing the work that just didn't do a good job, and I felt like extremely taken advantage of in that process,
for sure. And and it's unfortunate to go through those things, but you learn. And now you say it's in the book, like people are able to learn from your experience now, and I think that's the beauty of it. Sometimes you have to go through things so that you can now help other people. But I definitely feel like I was taken advantage of in certain aspects when getting the shop together and things of that sort. So I definitely a lot of money went out, and I wasn't bringing any in for months.
How much?
A lot, over 20 bands out, and nothing was coming in. And I mean, even more than that overall. But I'm saying within just those months that I wasn't open, that I expected to be open, I created a whole plan. Like, I got the shop in June. I was planning to open by August. And they gave you your month whatever free, like a couple months free. So I'm like, okay, as soon as that's over, I'm opening so I could be bringing money in. I didn't get that much work done. I mean, I got the bar built up, the wall put in, but that happened within like a week. So after that, it was just things not passing inspection, me not having proper information that I needed. And part of the fault is on me not knowing certain, doing certain research and knowing certain things. And I would say you could do all the research that you feel like you need, but it's so important. And it's so important to talk to people who've been through what you've been through, what you're going through. It's important to talk to people in your field that, if you're trying to get a brick and mortar, talk to somebody who's gone through that to an extent. You know what I'm saying? Because you could look everything up online, but it's so many things that you won't find. And I think that if I was a little bit more open to talking to more people at the time, there's some things that I may have been able to know that I didn't know, but it's okay. Everything happened for a reason. We open, and I live and claim abundance. So everything is flowing.
Yeah. So how long did it take you to start becoming profitable? Or are you profitable?
To be completely honest with you, I'm profitable, but it's definitely not where I see it truly being, obviously. Like, I'm definitely still getting out the red in certain areas. Like, I'm just starting. And also, it took me 6 months to open. Right. And I know some places that's normal for some, places take long to open but for what I was doing, that didn't really make sense. And financially, it didn't really make sense. Yeah. So it definitely, I wiped all of my savings out within those 6 months because I had a plan, and I had saving stack, for opening and to have something to fall back on. And I had to spend it all just keeping the rent going and, paying people over and having to get a new contractor and things like that.
Yeah.
I had to get into some legal. So it just was a lot going on. Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely still getting to the space of really starting to see profit. But for me, it's like now, as I'm scaling, I'm having to hire more people. And obviously now that's another overhead. It's so much overhead. So it's like, for me, I'm all in to where I'm not even worried about me necessarily like profiting something for myself right now. I see the bigger picture, and right now I'm focused on just keeping the space flowing, getting people in to help, so that when we really do continue to scale, I have what I need. So that's kind of the focus right now. But yeah, it's definitely it takes businesses time to really get to the point of seeing real profit. And I will say like my profit margin is good in general, but as far as just paying back a lot, a lot's going out.
And your type of business I hadn't really seen before, as far as like the model, the format and the model, because you are a juice bar, a vegan.
Say a flow space.
A vegan. Yeah. Well, you have a flow space.
So I call it really a flow space, like where we flow to keep it kind of broad, but it's also marketed as a juice bar / flow space for the people. So, people know that we have the juices, but we do. So all raw plant food. So we have the cold pressed juices. We have a full herbal tea bar where people can literally come and make their teas based on how they feel. So like if you come in and you having cramps, for example, I can literally make you a tea on the spot to help you for whatever you need. If you feel like you need energy, I can help you. If you're tired, I could put a blend together for that. So herbal. So we got the herbal teas.
I hope the girlies is listening.
Okay, I got y'all.
She said you don't need no Madol.
I got y'all.
You don't need no Advil. You don't need no Tylenol.
Okay. All raw plant food. So we do have food, and we focus on raw. So uncooked nothing is heated above 117. That's when you get more into the raw stages. Yeah. So I have a big dehydrator, so we dehydrate like kale chips. We dehydrate our granola.
What does that mean? You take the moisture out of it?
Yeah. Okay. So it's you're heating it, but not above 117 degrees. So what that does is that retains a lot of the nutrients, because the more you cook and heat things, the more nutrients you pull out of it. Okay. So you can eat all the vegetables in the world, but if you're heating it with a lot of oil every single day, you're not getting as much nutritional benefits of it as you would if you also had that balance of eating some raw. Just eating fruit sometimes and things like that. But yeah, so we do like raw collard wraps. We use walnut meat. So we use walnut to make like a meat. Yeah, I'm gonna make you something when you come back. I've seen
when I was trying to do my vegan thing.
Oh, you saw that?
I saw that because I was like, how are people? Well, me and my mom was trying to figure. She was trying to help me out.
Okay.
And my mom said, yeah, they use nuts. I was like, no, they don't.
But it's so good. You gotta try it.
They do. What is?
So literally,
you just like put them in a blender or something? How do you?
So you soak them first.
Soak them, okay.
Mm-hmm. So you soak them overnight, or at least like 8 hours. They normally say, but overnight. Excuse me. Ooh, that juice. Excuse me.
Yes.
But it's good.
It's good.
But you soak them overnight. I had a salad too, so I feel like
you full.
I'm full.
Yeah.
But you soak them overnight, and then you want to get them where they're a little softer, because if you just blend them, it's just gonna be eating like you're eating crunchy nuts, So once they're soft, you blend them with your spices and your seasonings and your herbs, and you do your thing. And I mean, I don't really believe in things trying to technically mimic meat. But for people who are transitioning, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how you help them out with that. But it's delicious, and it allows you to still get that savory feel and texture when you're not eating meat anymore. Because that's we're so used to it.
Also, there's the impossible meat that I just don't like the taste of it. Like,
you're not a fan of meat? I'm not a fan.
I don't like the fake meat, and apparently it's worse for you than regular meat.
It has more sodium and processed.
Yeah.
Plant based, but what is the base?
So the fact that
you're not telling me nothing.
No facts.
You're not telling me enough. Yeah, I mean, and if you look at some of that stuff,
I feel like they might be telling you too much, because you see all those ingredients
in the back. That's exactly what I was saying. Can't even pronounce half of them.
You saying everything yet nothing at all.
Yeah, and that's why it's important. When you make that decision to transition, if that's for you, to transition from the meats and the dairies and all the things, you also have to know that now it's becoming much more known and very trendy to where people are just making things to, replace it, but they're adding anything into it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important to know what you're putting into your body, because it doesn't need all of that stuff to taste good. So I definitely went through that phase. I mean, I transitioned when I was at HBCU. I was at A&T. So, I mean, all they had was the fried chickens and we had fried chicken Friday was lit. We had Chick-fil-A's. Literally, I was eating Chick-fil-A fries on a bun almost every day because they had no food for me in the cafeteria. So I would just go to Chick-fil-A. I would get French fries on a bun, tell them no butter on the bun, pickles, tomatoes, and I would add Polynesian sauce to put fries inside. And I called it like a fry burger. And my homegirl Hunter actually really put me onto that. Shout out to Hunter. But
shout out. Yeah, we got shout out.
But it was we shout out around here. Yeah. But it was bomb, but I literally was blowing up so fast. I was getting so inflamed, and it was not. I mean, it quite honestly was kind of pointless for me to be doing that transition because I wasn't eating anything cleaner than before. So eventually, I started doing even more research, and that's when I really started feeling better as I ate better things. And I advocated. We had a new cafeteria manager. I told him we need some vegan stuff in here because I'm paying for a meal plan.
Yeah,
baby, created a whole vegan section. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, me and my homegirls was like, yeah, we need something, and they did it. Because you never know till you ask.
The salads won't cut it.
The salads won't cut. I'm not one of them. People think when you say you eat plant food that we just eat salads and celery and cucumbers and carrots all day. That's not what we eat. We eat good. I mean, that's amazing too. Don't get me wrong, but spice it up with some good sauce. Yeah. We eat good around here.
I never heard of a vegan person express that before, because when I talk to vegan people now, a lot of people are of the Caucasian descent that I talk to that are vegan, and I because I needed help when I was trying to transition.
It's a little different with them sometimes, though.
I was like, well, what do you eat? And I'm asking like that. I'm like, how long you been vegan? 10 years. She been vegan 10 years. I'm like, okay, so what do you eat? I'm struggling right now.
And a lot of them do salads and tofu and stuff like that.
Tofu, roasted vegetables.
Yep.
That's what I got. And I'm like, what do you? That's it. Okay, so what do we?
I wouldn't be able to stick to it if that's all I was eating.
Present.
No, we do good. We do good stuff. I mean, sauces. The key is in the sauce.
Okay.
The key is in the sauce. If you put a good sauce, you can make anything good with a good sauce.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what I'm eating. If I have a good sauce, it's bomb.
Okay.
So I love a good sauce. Like what kind of
sauce?
I love a good avocado sauce. Yeah, you gotta see. We're gonna make you something when you come back because we make some fire sauces at the shop. Shout out to Kendra too, Vegan Thought Spot. She helps us make some bomb sauce. She has a bomb vegan queso in the shop. Yeah, you gotta come back. And
vegan queso.
Vegan queso.
Vegan
and she
spot. That's a fire.
Vegan
name.
Thought Spot. And thought means don't let me tell you wrong. I think it's treasuring health.
Oh, okay. It's not that whole over there.
Something, no. Okay. It's not the typical. And that's what spins it off so fire, though. Because when she says it, it's like, that's fire. You got to put a different connotation.
It also reminds me of like Pinky or Slutty Vegan.
Do you know what's up? That was literally in my head.
Yeah.
When you said that. And she said that's what made her really go down that. Yeah. But
risque.
It catches your attention.
Yeah, it's risque.
It's like, Slutty Vegan.
It gets the people going.
Hey, slut. Ooh.
Yeah.
No, I'm a slut. Yeah. She do her big one, too. Let me just say that. But yeah, we, vegan isn't just eating raw vegetables and stuff all day. I love a good quinoa bowl. I love sweet potatoes. I love a good sauce. I love a good mushroom. You can make a fried mushroom taste so good. I don't even want to say taste like chicken because people be like, it tastes like chicken. It tastes like steak. I'm not one of them that stuff has to taste like meat. I don't even remember what the meat tastes like, to be honest with you. But I just know it tastes good. And I just want something that feels soulful. Okay. And so I like to eat things that make my soul feel happy.
Okay, this got me thinking about Chloe and Halle Bailey.
Yes, they started eating burgers.
They did.
Yeah, she be feeding her son like chicken and everything.
They did. Okay,
but you got to do what works for you. It's that lifestyle is not for everybody. Like,
but they were doing it for so long. Like,
it's so interesting to me when people switch, and I always am curious with how did your body react when you switch back over.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I ate it now, it's to the point when people are like, how did you last so long? After a while, I'm scared to eat it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go through that.
And we were talking about like kind of like the antihistamine effect that that veganism gives you with the allergies and things like that.
Yeah.
When I did not have no allergies.
We gotta reiterate that. I
had no allergy. And
what you say? The yellow was on the car.
The yellow. My car is black. Okay, my car was yellow during pollen season. It was yellow, so
and it wasn't bothering you.
I had no issues. After I switched over to being, I wasn't even fully vegan. I was just vegetarian. I was still eating like cheese and eggs. But you see how
much that still, like, that change still impacted you? And I always tell people that, and I'm so glad you said that, because every time I say that, people are like, what? The pollen didn't bother you? So you a testament of that. Like, it really will. I mean, everything starts with your gut. It all starts with your gut, your mental, everything, your allergies, everything is connected. So I always tell people, I was telling you, I had allergy-induced asthma to the point where I would get asthma attacks from the pollen, and from just my allergies being triggered by, like, you know, seasonal allergies and things of that sort, and completely went away. Didn't deal with it anymore. Nope. Didn't deal with it anymore.
I haven't
dealt with a pollen season affecting me in about 6 years.
Have you done like maybe you haven't because you're so young, but you know some people do like tests with their doctors like before they were vegan or vegetarian versus after?
I actually haven't.
Okay.
I actually
like how your levels change.
I actually haven't, and it's interesting that you said that, because I'm at that point now where I'm getting a lot more interested in like blood work and things of that sort. So I want to tap into that. Like, I want to literally get like a microscope eventually and like tap into like doing my own research on the effects and literally our cells and our blood types with how we're eating and the changes that we're creating, not just with how we're eating, but also just our overall lifestyle and everything we're consuming. So I haven't, but I'm interested in getting to that point. But also, I mean, I'm at a point now where I wouldn't just go to any doctor or really just go anywhere. So I think also it's just about finding the right space for that, where, you know, it feels sacred and it feels safe and aligned. But I'm definitely interested in that.
But
I felt it. Like, I feel the difference. Yeah. I see it.
Yeah. And I mean, you doing it. I mean, look at your skin. Like, you're glowing. Your hair is like super moisturized. Okay. And I didn't even know you had dreadlocks. Like, your hair texture is so beautiful.
Up, y'all.
So what made you do that? What made you do dreadlocks?
So what made me really lock up, honestly, I'm one of those people, I can be very impulsive sometimes. Okay. Like, I'll keep looking at something, and then one day I'll be like, you know what? I'm about to just do it.
I'm going to do it, yeah.
So I kept seeing, and if you told me even 2 years ago, if you told me I was going to lock up, I would have been like, girl, what? You lying. Like, be for real. Because I was one of them. Like I said, I did hair. So I literally always did my own hair. I would switch up the hair every other couple days. Yeah. From the long bust downs, 30 inch. Like, I loved it all. I just love expressing myself through like fashion, through my hair, through everything. And so I never really saw myself sticking to one thing. And I always thought locks were so like, you know, it's locks and you can't really do too much with them. But you can do so much with locks. And once I really started seeing the girls eating it up, I was like, okay, well, one day I was like, okay, I'm gonna twist my hair. And I started with 2 strands, and I was like, I'm gonna just leave them in, and if I don't feel like taking them out, eventually we'll just see if they lock up. And once I was really getting the shop going, I was like, I don't have time to be doing my hair anyway. Yeah. So that's really what made me stick to it, because it's like, as you saw, my hair is completely tied up when I'm at the shop to keep, hair from coming out. So it's like, I would have been either slicking my hair back with products every day, it just be about falling out, or the locks are low maintenance and I could just tie it up and be good. So that's really what got me to it, and then what had me stick to it. So it's been a beautiful journey. It's like, people, when it comes to going plant-based, people are always like, you've been doing it for 7 years. How have you been doing it for so long? Now when I talk to people who are locked, and I'm like, how long you been locked? And they're like, 14 years. I'm like, wow, that's a really long time, but it goes by fast. It makes me think back to my own journey.
Yeah. I tried dreadlocks. My hair it wasn't thick enough. It wasn't healthy enough for them. I could see you with them. So and then I was nursing at the time. I was, a nurse. So I had it up all the time, which just caused a lot of tension. So now I got like alopecia. Okay. Tension alopecia. Yeah. So that's why I be wearing my little hats and stuff. I don't be wanting to wear my little, let my bald spot show. But I might just have to do it.
Well, Fred, you talking to the right person.
You got a juice for that too?
I do oils. I do everything. I literally, y'all, I have a whole product line too. Like I do everything.
A product line?
Yeah, I do products. Like I make oils infused with herbs. I make shea butters infused with herbs, like medicinal
for your
like
body,
inflammation. I mean, for like the outside, but also for the inside, for like pain, inflammation. Oh yeah, I make good stuff. But it all starts with your gut and like things you're putting into. So I can help you.
But it's like it's scar tissue. Like it's like, how is that gonna?
You don't have to worry about the how. You have to worry about the what. And we gonna do the what. We gonna figure it out, friend.
Y'all got all right.
Yeah, we gonna the short fits you though.
Thank you. I love it.
It fits you very well.
I love it. But then also too, like my hair is turning gray on the side. So like,
not gray. My grandma says silver.
Yeah, all that.
Silver is fly.
I'm 32 years old.
Silver is fly.
Right,
y'all, I found my first gray, silver hair literally once, like going through all of that trying to get the shop open.
Yeah.
One day I literally looked in the mirror and I had a silver hair. And I was
you
like,
was stressed out.
Baby.
The juice shop that stressed you out. I mean, but even though like that too, you have like prime real estate. Like that, you in the heart of
it's a great
downtown.
Location.
Beautiful, yeah. People, I'm sure you
it's
just
a great
get
location.
foot traffic. Like people like, oh, what's that?
It's beautiful because you get all people. Like when I was looking for a space, honestly, at first I was looking in shopping centers and that field because I didn't want to deal with the downtown parking. But then my vibe is very downtown, like that industrial kind of fly, like, you know, but mixed with the urban, like, so I somehow got led back downtown. And I was like, you know what? It's perfect though because you get all people. Yeah. You know, you get the people who, I'm here to serve the people who don't know anything about this too. Yeah. Not just in the shopping centers where they know all the benefits of juicing and of, you know, herbs and detoxing and healthy and what healthy is. There's people who literally have never had a smoothie, a tea, anything in their life, and they come in that space, and it's so beautiful. And I'm so excited because it's not just, you know, serving food and drinks and things and herbs and all of that stuff. We're really a space for education as well. As I was telling you, we're going to expand and open the basement in the next month or two and have workshops, community health classes, yoga, sound healing, just so much more. Different community events. So, you know, I'm really excited. I do think it's a great location, and I think I was sleeping on it at first, and I'm so happy I was led there because it's been beautiful to see all walks around for sure.
All right, how long you got? How long you got here?
Oh, I got
how long
some time.
You gotta be? All right, cool.
I got some time for. I know we just talking. Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Yes. Food and